Fire. What the hell? Yeah. Farewell. Farewell, speak! I know you're there. Shush. Oh, wait. Farewell. 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 What? Hello? Hello?
What?
Were you not talking the whole time?
Yes.
Mm.
I don't know what that sound comes from. That's a Roblox sound.
That's the fish. That's the Roblox sounds. What the fuck are those gifts you sent? Evil baby. Bruh. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Shush. Farewell. Where's this one? Oh, those are the legs. So, I think I have to make the clothes next, but I don't know for sure.
What? What about it?
You want model?
I guess I did say I would, huh?
Yeah. You wanna? Wow. Wow. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? La 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 la. Yes, queen. Yes, queen. Yes, queen. Right now. Okay, wait, hold up. So I have my VPN on. Okay.
You what?
I require this.
Holy fuck, I haven't opened Blender since May.
Damn. Since May? Yay? Sway? Hey? Lay? May? Gay? Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm opening Blebner.
Blebner. Oh my god. Blebner.
Wow.
Uh.
Uh,
Gaming. Have you ever made like from scratch on your own 3D character?
No.
I can show you. What kind of thing do you want to make?
Oh no.
That. The way I always start, right? Obviously, you want to know what thing you want to make first. So maybe something you already drew, like digital art, like 2D, right? And then, do you see my screen?
I do.
So you see how I have this drawn out?
Yep.
See? You have like the front view and the side view. You can just straight up draw that with the annotation tool in Blender. And you can use the 1 and the 3 key on your numpad to do the front and side orthographic views.
Yeah, I know that much.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's how I do it. I first like draw. Oh, and also you want to do the top view as well. I didn't do the top view for this character,
I
but
know.
it's not as important. But yeah, so basically, yeah, front, side, and top. At least the front and side, or at
You're
least the
bleeping,
front.
by the way.
Yeah, I know, that's my friggin' keybind
Your
thing.
numpad is set.
Yeah, it's goofy. I was gonna say, but yeah, so that's probably the most useful step, because then everything after that is kind of just filling in what you already drew and slightly fixing it up. And you can fix the proportions and everything in post. You could also do all the drawing and stuff in like another app. I just do it in the program because it's the fastest, and it doesn't need to be perfect because I'll fix it up later as I make the model and stuff. God damn, fuck.
You've been
Also,
drinking?
hmm?
I'm kidding.
Wait, what? What'd
I'm
you say?
kidding.
I don't even know
I
what you
said
said.
I'm kidding.
Okay. I was gonna say, I also can show you how to do hair. Did you see this? I made this from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
The hair is really fun.
Yeah.
It's actually very fun. It's one of my favorite things I've done in Blender. It's not hard. It's just about like knowing how to set it up, and then you just kind of just do it. You know, pretty fun. I don't know how to do the bones on that yet. You probably have to use like dynamic bones or something. The other thing as well, I used to manually do the armatures for all my characters, but as it turns out, there's a system built into Blender.
Automatic one, I know.
Yeah, that's Rigify. So then if I do human,
You're using Regify.
yeah, Rigify's in like a part of Blender though, like the newer versions of Blender. Like it's actually
Yeah, it's basically like the TikTok though of rigging. It's not if you have specific things that you want to rig, it's not best to use Rigify, but yes, I know it works.
No,
But I know how
Rigify
to rig.
you can use custom like little pieces and chain them together. It doesn't have to be the pre-made rigs.
Sure.
Yeah. And there's other ones as well. Here, I can show you too. 1 second. I was looking at multiple videos. So this specifically copy. How do I copy the playlist? So this specifically is for Rigify, and then there's also this one here that mentions a few, like Blend Rig, Auto Rig, Faceit, Bone Dynamics. Those are all different rigging add-ons that you can get, and Blend Rig is actually free. I hear though from a lot of different like YouTubers and stuff I watch that Rigify is like the basically like kind of the industry standard in a way. Like that's the one that has the most amount of support, you know, and probably like pre-made animations and all that kind of stuff. So it's best to use Rigify, especially if you have a humanoid character. If you have like other ones that are like way more complex, then you probably get like other different rigging systems. But Rigify is the one I'm gonna try and use today. Also, I'm probably gonna buy this. If I buy this, I could just give you it for free too, because it's fucking $35. But that's the other thing as well, is I need to get Substance Painter, because that's like kind of the next step, and like that's the kind of other tool we need in our pipeline for like making stuff. Because we got Blender, we know how to use Blender. Origin point. That's like what I kind of do. I do the origin point with the head, and then draw the neck out, and then kind of go.
I actually hate and suck at starting with the head, so I'm not gonna do that. But yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Bye. So wait, I need to edit this actually. Oops. How do I?
Easy without having to come up here. I guess I could just go. Fine.
I actually need to go and look at that tutorial.
This is the first chapter in this course with Rigify. If you haven't chapter, first I want it to serve as a crash course in Blender bones or Blender armatures. So for people who are not familiar, you'll learn how to create bones, manipulate them, move them around, parent. Mario, what happened after we activated the add-on? If we press Shift A, on the armature, there are a few new presets, a few new armature types that we can choose from. And one of them is the human meta rig. There are a couple of animals and basic human and basic quadruped. So in this case, we are going to use the basic human because our character is very basic. The same as in the previous tutorial, I'm going to turn on in front and axis. Before we go any further, let's follow the workflow that I mentioned in the previous videos. Step 1 is to make sure that our character is ready for rigging. First of all, I'm going to hide the meta rig for now. I'm going to make sure that my character is facing front. So if I switch to front view, my character's face is visible. That means he's facing front. His feet should be on the ground of the 3D world. The ground is represented by this red line, so I can see that the legs are aligned with the floor. Pivot point should be in the center of the 3D world. So if I go to the end panel under item with the mesh selected, the location is set to 0, 0, 0, so that is good. Scale and rotation should be applied. Rotation is set to 0, 0, 0, and scale is to 1, 1, 1, so that means they're applied. Model to scale. My model is it's a humanoid. Pivot point should be in the center of the 3D world. So if I go to the end panel under item with the mesh selected,
you should unbind that.
Is set to 0, 0, 0, so that is good. Scale and rotation should be applied. Rotation is set to 0, 0, 0, and scale is to 1, 1, 1, so that means they're applied. Model to scale. My model is it's a humanoid character, and in the z-axis its height is basically 1.8 meters, so that looks good. The humanoid should be in the A pose. So if I look again through front view, I can see that my character is standing to scale. The legs are aligned with the floor. Pivot point should be in the center of the 3D world. So if I go to the end panel under item with the mesh selected, the location is set to 0, 0, 0, so that is good. Scale and rotation should be applied. Rotation is set to 0, 0, 0, and scale is to 1, 1, 1, so that means they're applied. Model to scale. My model is it's a humanoid character, and in the z-axis its height is basically 1.8 meters, so that looks good. The humanoid should be in the A pose, so if I look again through front view, I can see that my character is standing straight. The legs look almost okay, but let's move them a little bit to the side, like this. These two bones here are breast bones. We don't need them, we can actually delete them, but I'm going to leave them in this example. Things seem to be not very well aligned from the top view, so let's switch to top view.
Or are we just going?
A way to select the whole.
Is there an eraser?
Hold control and then click with left click. I'm so sorry, I'm not talking as much right now. I'm watching like a tutorial thing on how to use Rigify.
Whole hand is by hovering over the bone chain and pressing L, and I'm going to move it a little bit. It's nice that this chain is slightly bent in the elbow, but I think in my case that's little bit too much, so I'm going to move it just slightly. Hand is looking good now. Let's go into side view. I need to align the leg from the front view. You need to keep in mind that the leg in Rigify includes this heel bone, so we are going to adjust it in a second. The heel bone is very important. From the side view, it should be right where the heel meets the ground. I'm going to disable in front for a second. It needs to be about as wide as your actual foot. So let's make it about as wide as the actual foot. To see more clearly what this does, I'm going to go to object mode, then I'm going to select the character. I'll go to edit mode again. I'm going to select this part of the leg and I'm going to make it wider. Without mirror. I just want one side to be a little bit wider. And you can follow along if you want. I'm going to go back to the MetaRig. And I'm going to deselect Xmirror for a second, and I'm going to make this bone a little bit wider to match my character. In edit mode, let's turn back on the X-axis mirror option and in front. I think I need to align the spine. So let's, again with L, select the whole spine and these additional bones here, and move them so they're more in the center of the body. Even though anatomically the spine should be at the back, it's better to put it over here. It allows for better deformations. So that is looking good. Before I move the spine, if I undo, you can see that the spine and the head and the neck were perfectly aligned. Now I'm going to redo everything, and now you can see that they are disconnected now. This is another intentional mistake that I'm making. I'm just going to move the collarbone a little bit, make sure it's aligned well, and yeah, that should do it. I'm going to go to edit, to object mode, and I'm going to look for the Rigify buttons tab under the armature tab, and here is the very important generate rig button, and I'm going to go right ahead and click it. We get an error. The problem is, let's do this again and look at the error. It says bone position is disjoint. That's the problem with Rigify. It kind of gives you an error message, and the error message can be hard to read. In this case, the problem is that the neck bone and the spine bone need to be perfectly aligned. And there is a way to let Rigify know that I want my spine and head to be disconnected, but in the pre-built MetaRig, it is set up so they need to be perfectly aligned. So let's align them. I'm going to select the last nodule of the neck. I'm going to press Shift-S, selection to cursor, and then selecting the last nodule of the spine, I'm going to press Shift-S, selection to cursor, and that gives me perfectly aligned spine and neck. Back to object mode, and I'm going to press generate rig. As you can see, it did work. However, the generated rig seems to be quite a bit bigger than the meta rig. Why is that? The reason is due to this intentional mistake that I did at the beginning. I scaled the meta rig down in object mode, and this gives me the scale of 0.9. That's why I get a generated rig that is not the same size as the meta rig. I don't want that to happen. What I'm going to do is first selecting the meta rig and then going to object apply scale. And now if I generate my rig again, we see that it's perfectly aligned with my character and with my meta rig. The next step in the process is to set up bone groups and layers. But with the pre-made meta rigs, that's already done for us, so we can skip that step. Then we press generate, which we already did. And now it's time to test our rig. I'm going to select my character mesh, then the generated rig, press Ctrl P and choose with automatic weights. And now if I select the rig and go to pose mode, I can grab, for example, this handle and I can start moving my rig around. I can play with the legs, and you see that we have working IK for the legs. We have working IK for the arms, and we can even, from the end panel, there's this option to switch to FK. I'm going to explain all the options later on. This is just a quick crash course in Rigify. We have lots of cool options, and we barely did any work for them. Generated rig, go to pose mode, select all bones and go to pose, clear transform all, so my rig will be back to normal. If I select this handle here and choose the rotate gizmo,
Okay, cool. Wow. Okay, so I have to make them in the A pose. Lame. Shush. Fish. So wait, what do I have selected up there? Oops. So, know where the feet go. Or did I accidentally delete the feet? I did. That's funny. I'm just gonna do this. Just in case. so now what I can do is like this. I want to change the origin. Oops. Okay, that looks like good enough. Oops. Okay. And then let's see. Also, whoa, that character's looking cool. Your character. Sorry. I'm gonna have to make a custom rig for this. Probably. Let's see. Why doesn't it give me the options view in the front? It's not normal. There we go. This looks crazy. Wonder if I can just like delete this face. Because this face is creepy. Creepy ass face. They have ears too. What's this supposed to be? Head? Wait, what is this? Which bone is this? Face. Spine. Fish.
Beep.
Beep. Beep.
To my model is it's a humanoid character. I can see that my character is A pose. Their workflow, which means that I created previously. Scale by pressing S. Scale the whole metric down a little bit, and this under tools, under options, there's this to go into edit mode and I want to start aligning this meta rig to my character. A very handy tool that we have will be automatically mirror. So I'm going to adjust the collarbone, the arm, the hand. The legs look almost okay, but let's move them a little bit to the side like this. These two bones here are breastbones. We don't need them, we can actually delete them, but I'm going to leave them in this example. Things seem to be not very well aligned from the top view, so let's switch to the top view. A way to select the whole hand is by hovering over the bone chain and pressing L. And I'm going to move it a little bit. It's nice that
they got
chain
barrenness.
is slightly bent in the elbow, but I think in my case that's little bit too much, so I'm going to move it just slightly. Hand is looking good now. Let's go into side view. I need to align the leg from the front view. You need to keep in mind that the leg in Rigify includes this heel bone, so we are going to adjust it in a second. The heel bone is very important. From the side view, it should be right where the heel meets the ground. I'm going to disable in front for a second. It needs to be about as wide as your actual foot. So let's make it about as wide as the actual foot. To see more clearly what this does, I'm going to go to object mode, then I'm going to select the character. I'll go to edit mode again. I'm going to select this part of the leg and I'm going to make it wider. Without mirror. I just want one side to be a little bit wider. And you can follow it if you want. I'm going to go back to the meta rig and I'm going to deselect X mirror for a second, and I'm going to make this bone a little bit wider to match my character. In edit mode, let's turn back on the X-axis mirror option and in front. I think I need to align the spine. So let's again with L select the whole spine and these additional bones here and move them so they're more in the center of the body. Even though anatomically the spine should be at the back, it's better to put it over here. It allows for better deformations. So that is looking good. Before I move the spine, if I undo, you can see that the spine and the head and the neck were perfectly aligned. Now I'm going to redo everything, and now you can see that they are disconnected now. I'm just going to move the collarbone a little bit. They are disconnected now. This is another intentional mistake that I'm making. Tab under the armor again and look at the era. It's 5 buttons.
Okay. So they have this like up here. Like right there. What the hell's this bone? Spine. These are all spine bones. I'm wondering, what is this bone? What kind of sheep is this? This is a the sheep. What kind of sheep is this? What bone is this? Spine. These are all just spine bones. I don't know if these are supposed to be equidistant. I think it looks like they're supposed to. What bone is this? What kind of fish is this? Sorry.
Yeah.
Collarbones? Where'd they put the collarbones? They put it kind of like forward. Kind of put the... I mean, that makes sense. The collarbones are up there. What kind of sheep is this?
What are you saying?
You've never seen those videos?
No.
What kind of sheep is this? This is a Mediterranean Eastern sheep. What kind of fucking sheep is this? Like, they just be saying shit. Here, let me see what's the front view. Front view. Okay, so they got the bones going up here. What kind of sheep is this? La 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 la. It goes around the world. La 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 la. Kind of goes up here. Where do you put these? These ones. Put them like there. They put them like there. Okay. I probably should have like tailbone. Bone for tail. Do that later. So do. What kind of sheep is this? So these are all separate bones. This is middle finger. Let's do this first actually. Le thumb. Oops. Gotta do the larger one. Okay, I see there's like 3 different parts of the thumb. The outermost one, got this here, and you got this. And, that's strange. Okay. What kind of sheep is this? Okay, that looks right. Now I just have to do that like 20 more times. Oh, I see. So these are outermost parts.
Fuck are all these noises?
Right. Shit. Up here, and then we rotate, and then we put it up here. Okay, well this is really far off now for some reason. What kind of sheep is this?
why the fuck is shit changing? I mean, I'll take it, but like, what the hell?
Okay.
Can I change the color of this drawing thing?
I don't know. I've never tried that. Probably. Maybe.
Oh my god, I can.
Nice. How'd you do it?
Never mind.
Oh.
Just changes the color of everything, which is exactly.
I can't see what I'm looking at. Okay. It's kind of a pain in the ass trying to do this, but we're getting there. Bear. On the motherfucking bar. Okay, I might. Oh, wait, it's way down here. That's pretty close. It's pretty close to it. I gotta turn this off. I can't see. think I got it. That was a pain in the ass to do the hands. Okay. So then there's the face bone, and then there's the spine bone. I don't know what the fuck the face bone does. It's weird. Okay, I think it's like... I do like this. I do the tailbone. The tail.
The beeping. It's gonna make me go insane.
Sorry.
I have to fucking kill myself.
No! Back. Oh no, I'm gonna have to do the thing where I have to connect it. It's not connected. How do they do it?
With Rigify, it can be aligned. And there is a way to let Rigify know that I want my spine and head to be disconnected, but in the pre-built method to select the last nodule, so they need to be perfectly aligned. So let's align them. I'm going to select the last nodule of the neck. I'm going to press Shift S, selection to cursor, and then selecting the last nodule of the spine, I'm going to press Shift S, selection to cursor, and that gives me perfectly aligned spine and neck. Back to object mode, and I'm going to press generate rig. As you can see, it did work. However, the generate...
Okay, interesting. I think I want this to be a little bit lower. Okay, I think that's good. Bird!
Bird up.
That's literally what I was gonna say, but I had to keep myself from saying it. Bird, 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 bird. Bird up. It worked! Except I need to do this. Oops, what the fuck did I just do? Let's do Control A. I'm in edit mode, that's why. All transforms. Bird up, bird, bird, bird. Okay. The rig is generated. Oh, those go out way too far. I don't know why the fuck that's going out of the body. What the scallop? Okay, hold on. Why did it stop? Okay, that's inside now. Bird up, bird, bird, bird. Okay, so the rig is there.
The rig seems to be quite a bit bigger than the meta rig. Why is that? The rig object apply scale, which we already did, and now it's time to test our rig. I'm going to select my character mesh, then the generated rig, press Ctrl P and choose with automatic weights. And now if I select the rig and go to pose mode, I can grab, for example, this handle and I can start moving my rig around. I can play with the legs, and you see that we have working IK for the legs. We have working
Whoa.
IK for the...
Why does it not show the box and stuff on my screen? I don't get that. Wait. I'm confoozled. Why does it not have all the fancy stuff? Doesn't have the fancy stuff that I want. Where's the IK for this? Is there an IK for this? Is there no IK? Why is there no fancy stuff? auto IK? I don't know. Oof. Okay, I don't like that. That's weird. That sort of works. It leaves behind all the other hair though, which I don't like.
For the arms, and we can even from the end panel there's this option to switch to FK. I'm going to explain all the options later on. This is just a quick crash course in Rigify. We have lots of cool options and we barely did any work for them.
Where are all the IKs at? Is this like that old ass version? I think this is an older version. This older version.
Visible over here, but if I switch to wireframe, you can see it.
I'm confused. I don't know why there's no torso tweak. Like, where is that at? Where is torso tweak? Where are the IKs? There's supposed to be like IKs. But I don't see them. Confused. Confused. No. See, yeah. Wireframe? For every control bone. Okay, which one's the control?
You need to make the control bone.
No, it says the control bones are there. I just have to.
Oh, well, I'm used to making them, so
I have
never mind.
to. I have to manually like turn them into wireframe mode though, and I don't know where the fucking. Where is the? For every, is it for every bone? Where do you enable display? This is from 2018, so this is an old ass version. Bruh. Okay. This is annoying. Oh, create control rig. I don't know what the fuck that just did. What did I just do? What fucking thing did I just... So confused.
Blender 4.5 is in beta and it will be released very soon, around July 15th. This means that the new features are now set in stone, so let's see what's new in rigging and animation. One of the big news, and you'll hear a lot of hype around it, is that Vulkan is now stable. And Vulkan promises better overall viewport performance. And who wouldn't like that, right? To enable Vulkan, you can go to Edit Preferences, System, and Backend, and switch Backend to Vulkan. This requires a restart, so save Preferences and restart Blender. And the biggest improvement you should see, at least at this stage, is faster texture loading when you switch to Material Preview. As you probably saw, my materials loaded very quickly here. Of course, this is a simple scene, it should be even more obvious in heavier scenes. I watched a bunch of hypey videos about Blender Vulkan, and they promise that everything will be faster, faster playback, faster subdivisions. By the way, if you like less hypey and more objective information, subscribe to CG Dive. Unfortunately, in my tests, I did not see this performance boost. Especially with rigged characters, I got the exact same frames per second and the same overall performance when posing, animating, or playing back an animation. On top of that, I had some crashes with heavy scenes. Nevertheless, Vulkan is the future. It will make Blender more performant. So give it a go, and if you get some crashes or other issues, report them. That will help this new technology develop faster. Now let's focus on the actual rigging and animation features. Blender has a couple of bone display modes, which are available under the Armature tab, Viewport Display, Display As, and we have octahedral, stick, B-bone, and so on. What's new in this version is that now each bone can have its own Display As setting. If we go to the Bone tab, Viewport Display,
Oh,
you'll
geez,
see
the
Display
movie.
As, and by default it's set
Scale,
to
gee.
Armature
Okay,
Defined.
I'm back.
Armature Defined means that this bone is going to follow the global Display As setting under the Armature tab. But now I can switch this bone to B-bone, this one to stick, this one to envelope,
Hey.
and so on. So this is almost like having these special predefined shapes for individual bones. In practice, I'll probably use it something like this. These are my deforming bones.
In this Blender tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can quickly rig a character using the Rigify meta rigs in Blender. This is a great way to automatically rig a character with not much work, so you can get to animating in Blender very quickly. Here I have a purple astronaut that I'm going to rig. If you don't have the Rigify add-on enabled, go to Edit, Preferences, then under Add-ons, search for Rig. Make sure you have a checkmark by Rigify, then you're ready to go. Once your mesh is inside your scene and in a general T-pose or A-pose, press Shift-A, create a new armature, Rigify meta rigs, go down to Basic, and then Basic Human. This brings in a rig, but it's very difficult to see. So with this armature selected, over in the right-hand side under Data, Viewport Display, we can click In Front. So now we can see this rig is in front of the character. This makes it much easier to place all the bones. Select a front view, then tab into Edit Mode, and often it makes sense to go ahead and select X Symmetry or Y Symmetry depending on how your character is laid out. That way, if I move one bone by pressing G, it moves it on the other side. So now we need to place everything where it goes. Press G and I'll move these hip bones down. Select this bone and then I'll move it to where the hip is. Select this bone and I'll move it to where the knee is. Often it makes sense to marquee select the bones. That way you get both bones that are joined together. Press G, move this to the foot. Select G, move this to where the ball of the foot would be. Move this to the toe. Now I need to look from the other side. This bone here is supposed to be back where the back of the foot is. So I can select the whole bone, press G, and kind of put it in the back of the foot. This should be up in the toe. Press G, and this should be the ball of the foot. This can be the heel. And as you can see, you need to look in multiple directions to get everything correct for rigging. This one is the knee, and it looked correct from the front view, but now I'll move it kind of right about there. I think these are okay where they are. And now we need to work on the spines and the arms. Work your way down by pressing G, marquee select when necessary. Select the bones, bring them down, bring the spine down to where it needs to be. As you keep working around the model, it really starts to come together where each piece needs to be. Right here, what just happened by selecting this bone will often give you an error in MetaRig. If I click on the bone, notice that this is spine 3. Spine 3 and spine 4 need to be in the same spot. So this one is spine 4, but now it's disconnected. And even if I move it very close, by clicking this little nub right here and put it close, it's not close enough. Don't worry, I'll show you how you can fix that later. Look around your character to make sure everything is in the right spot. For example, here, if I look from the top view, It's not really in the arm, so I can move these to where they need to go. I have that placed better. One trick, if you're having trouble placing bones up in the snapping, you can click median volume. Then if you select a bone, press G, hold control, it'll snap to the middle of the volume of wherever you're looking. So even if I snap from here, I can press G, hold control, and it'll snap right in the middle. This can be very helpful for placing bones when you're looking at various angles and directions. So now I'm going to show you the error that happens by separating the spine bone. If I go to object mode, then select the armature, and I select generate rig, it gives me a rigify error. Bone spine 4 cannot connect chain. Bone position is disjoint. How do I fix bone position is disjoint? We need to look and find that bone. So tab back into edit mode, select the bones. It said spine 4. This is spine 4. I'll press G to move this one out of the way. This is spine 3. If I press Shift S, cursor to selected. Now the 3D cursor is right here. Select spine 4, and this will fix that bone is disjoint problem. Press Shift S, selection to cursor. Now both of these are in the same spot. I can go back into object mode, select the armature, and now generate rig. This time there's no errors and no bone disjoint errors. Now I don't need to see the bones anymore, so go ahead and hide them. Select the mesh, then hold Shift and select the rig. Go to Object, Parent, Parent with automatic weights. And that's it. Now our rig is all set up. If you select Pose Mode, I can select different parts of the rig, press G, and then I can move the character around. So this is pretty cool because I can move everything and pose the character as I want with inverse kinematics. Hopefully this allows you to automatically skin a character in Blender and then get on with animating. Happy 3D modeling.
Bruh, I just watched a whole nother tutorial tell me the exact same thing I just tried and it didn't work. Ugh.
This is Blender, open source 3D software that can be used to make animations, visual effects.
Fish.
No.
Shish.
Is there a way to copy the drawing and like mirror it, or am I gonna have
Nope.
to code?
Unless you did it in a
Why-
program, you like take a screenshot.
Why have you
and
done
then
this to
copy-
me?
You could take a
I could've
screenshot of half of it, and then you can mirror it in Photoshop, and then you can put it in Blender and move the picture back behind the model and see it in orthographic view.
Yeah, I should have totally done this in photo or in Oh
That's what I
well.
was telling you. Fish. Explosion. Well, fuck. It doesn't do at all what I thought it was gonna do. Thought it was gonna have the whole thingamabob here.
Told you Rigify was too good to be true.
It's not. I followed it all exactly. I think I just maybe I clicked the wrong rig. I think I did the too complex one and added extra ones, and now it's like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? It's probably because it doesn't like me using bar. It don't like me using bar. Good thing they don't got bar in it. Bar. Good thing it don't got bar. Good thing it don't got bar in it. I'm trying to move the damn... No, stop. Bird? Yay! Bird! Yay! Holy crap. Like, you gotta get that hair fixed. God damn. This bone should not be controlling jack shit, to be honest. That controls the head. I don't want you controlling the head. That's stupid. I should just delete this bone. I'm gonna delete this bone. Get rid of this fuck-ass bone.
Did you isolate the individual parts of your model, or is it all in one shape?
Kind of isolated, but also one shape.
It's over.
Fish. Okay, well, what if I do this? Go back to this, and then click this, and then... The fuck? Okay, I don't know who the hell that was. Get out of the pose mode. Wait, paint. That's what I want. And then we go into edit mode. And I want to select specifically this one. Okay, okay. Select all these fuck-ass bones. Good thing they don't got bear. Good thing they don't got bear in it. I gotta select like literally all the fucking hair now.